Hey guys, what's up? It's Carlos. Um, I'm using a really weird mic today. So I don't know when I got this, but somehow I ended up with I don't even know. Just look on screen. It's this little thing. I'm trying it out because for the love of God, I can't find my actual microphone. So if the quality isn't the best, bear with me. At least I hope this fixed the kind of echoey sound that was in the last video. So, yeah, hopefully this does help. But in today's video, guys, this is the start of me actually doing the new kind of content. So it's going to be less of specific story and more general stories. Just kind of little experiences that correlate with the main topic of focus and the message behind it, which will be at the end, moral of the story, right? And I've decided. Actually, you know what? I'll just say that in a community post. Fuck it. Anyways, fights and why they're dumb. Yeah, guys. So I'm gonna start off by preferencing this. I have not been in an actual street fight. I've had like a couple little scraps here and there, but they're not fights. They would mostly be little casual things that you do with your friends. A lot of people call it running the fade, a lot of that, and street fights are honestly kind of horrifying. I come from a trained background. When I was growing up, my dad would always teach me boxing basics. He believed a lot in knowing how to defend yourself and the benefits of it. So, as his son, I would be taught a lot of boxing basics, which honestly really helped me nowadays. Before you start, no, I'm not going around beating up people, but I actually train MMA. Right now, I'm training it at home, but pretty soon I'm going to start selecting a gym to actually go and train at. Fingers crossed, I think it'll be good. And yeah, it's honestly it having boxing basics already down is pretty nice. I just kind of retouch on them every now and again, the basics, and I'm already pretty good behind, or not behind, ahead. Well, I guess kind of behind because a huge part is the grappling game. I started grappling high school wrestling when I was, or no, I started off in middle school actually. You've heard the story times where I would be, getting ready to go wrestle, which by the way, I did not take as seriously as I probably should have. The drunk wrestling story. Here's the link if you want it. But yeah, I didn't take grappling as serious as I ever took striking, mainly because of the age of when I started it. So, but now I take both of them semi seriously. Of course, it's not my career or anything to be an MMA fighter. I'd honestly rather not do that. Having a weight cut is probably one of the worst things as a fighter to do. And believe me, I did, I guess, smaller weight cuts, but they were significant to me because any weight cut is a horrible weight cut. Telling yourself that you have to have ice cubes in a day and you have to run in like a heavy jacket and like a sauna suit and all that, it's terrible. I would not recommend it, guys. If you want to get into a grappling sport, especially, please be fat but like really strong. That is honestly the best combo you could have in a grappling sport like wrestling. As long as you're explosive and strong enough, you can be pretty much as big and fat as you want to be, unless you're going up against like some 7'2" jacked fucking 300 pounds pure muscle 1% body fat motherfucker. Then you're kind of screwed. But generally, I think that's the way to go grappling wise. MMA is completely different because you need to be stocky but also lean enough to evade strikes. So it's a mixed bag. But I like the sport enough for me to practice it. Would I ever actually go into a fight for it, like go into an actual sanctioned MMA fight? Maybe I'll try it once or twice, but I wouldn't really bet on that. But I've been rambling a lot about my background. Let me tell you guys this one story. So there was this one time I was doing Uber with my girlfriend, and I don't even remember what for. I think it was one of us had something to pay coming up, but we didn't get our checks for a little while. So we were like, fuck it. We're going to go and do some Uber, see if we can make a little bit of the money, right? Which, by the way, we wouldn't do. I don't advise doing Uber on an e-bike. Yeah, we did it on a fucking e-bike, guys. Horrible experience. Of course, I would be like, it isn't so bad. You know, we're doing pretty well. I would be that guy. But truthfully, it fucking sucked. I hated it. I hated every moment of doing it, except the downtime. That was awesome. We would usually go into a Panera Bread in our downtown's area, which, by the way, it's closed. What? It's closed. I loved going to that Panera Bread. Free coffee. Sip Club's members, you'd get it. But yeah, free coffee aside, it was pretty, I guess, mediocre overall, the whole entire experience of doing Uber on an e-bike. But, it could be a lot worse at the end of the day. I could be having to sell ass as a man. So, yeah, it could be a lot worse. But anyway, so we were getting into this neighborhood in this one area. It's right next to a college. To the locals of my city, you'd know exactly what I'm talking about. It's yay ways up north in the county. Well, more of the center area. Still. Anyway, so we enter this apartment area, and our delivery app, we were doing Uber. Uber was telling us to go through the gate and to get to one of the apartments. But here's the thing. It's a gated community. So you may be thinking, how did you guys get through? Simple. A car was coming by. We just zoomed right in. Yeah, we were little fucking thieves. Or thieves, scandals, whatever you want to call us. I don't know what old people call teenagers, I guess. And we just zipped right through. It was wide enough for 2 cars to get in, so we didn't have to squeeze in pretty tightly. But I ended up taking the wrong entrance, so we had to basically go all the way around the apartment area. And as we do, we see this one guy. He's wearing, I remember this so vividly. He's wearing a wife beater. How America has all those USA branded stuff with the country flag? Yeah, he had USA shorts on, and he had one of those I guess business jackets. Like, when you put a suit on, a 3-piece suit, and you have the jacket that covers all of it at the end. Yeah, he was wearing that, but instead of an actual suit being under it, it was a wife beater. He honestly looked like an alcoholic, a chronic one too. Which, yes, I'm kind of making a joke out of it, but on a genuine note, he actually did look like he was dealing with something heavy in his life. But nevertheless, he looked at me and my girlfriend, and he said, "Hey, you need to come out of there. You can't be in there." Now, with the jacket on, I actually thought he was like a building manager that was on his like day off, but he has like some contract, or he just loves his job too much. So I was like, you know what? Fine, we'll go out there and we'll explain, "Hey, we're delivery, we're Uber, we're trying to get some food to people." So yeah, I end up getting off the bike. So does my girlfriend. We walk it through a door. It was a one-way door. Otherwise, you would need a key. So yeah, we get out from there, and we get to in front of the main building of this apartment area. So it would be the main building in the front, and then 2 gates on the left and right. That's how it was. He was in front of the building, so we approach him, right? He's like, "You guys can't be fucking in there, you stupid." And I was like, "Okay, let's calm down. We're Uber, so," and I even showed him my phone too. I was like, "We're trying to deliver this order. I didn't know if it was really okay to get through the gate, but it seemed like one of the only options for us. I didn't really see any office staff in the main building, so I just thought it would be easier to get through this gate, hand off the food, and we did, you know? Which I think that's logical thinking. I think that's pretty logical. But this guy just continues on. He's like, "That's fucking against the rules. You can't be going over there and fucking just entering wherever you please. And I was like, oh, well, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't know this affected you that much. But, I don't know what to say. Just, I'm sorry. And I was like, are you with building management? Right? After I apologize. And he gets livid. He's like, that doesn't fucking matter if I'm with them or not. And at that point, I was like, oh, crazy neighbor. Crazy neighbor, 100%. Yeah, I met a Darren, guys. The male epitome of a Karen. I met a Darren out in the wild, and wow, there's something, guys. I would not recommend it. So he continues screaming. He's like, you can't be fucking going wherever you please. And I'm like, sir, I'm over here trying to deliver food, get money, and get going with my girlfriend. And the fact that you're screaming at me while she's right behind me, frankly looking scared, because she actually did look scared. She will deny it to this day if you actually ask her, but yeah, she's looking all scared. And I was saying, you can't be talking like that. You're talking like a maniac, frankly. He was like, I'll show you a fucking maniac over here trying to waltz up in here. And he didn't say waltz, but you get the point. You can't be going wherever you please. And I was like, I told you, we're delivering food. We're just getting in and out of this apartment complex. And at that point, the situation just slowly starts building up and escalating till eventually he puts his hands up like in a fighting stance, right? He's like, I should just fucking beat your ass where you are. And at that point, I was like, no, come on, dude. Because if you've ever trained any sort of martial art, and yes, that includes boxing and wrestling, I don't know why people want to make them stand alone. They're martial arts, guys. Get with it. But if you ever trained any sort of combat sport, martial art, anything like that, you would know street fights fucking suck. And generally trained people will try to avoid it unless you're either Mike Tyson or Rampage Jackson. You'll just come in just ready to beat ass. You're already ready to put belt on ass to anybody that looks at you wrong. But generally, most fighters they don't care to get into street fights because they have important shit to actually fight for, and it's not trying to beat up some fucking lunatic that's talking shit because you're trying to do Uber. I still don't get that. Why he was so livid about that. But yeah, so he's still screaming at us. He thinks that he's the man, and he's all this over here saying, I should fucking beat your ass where you are. And at that point, like I said, I was fucking done with it, but also I was like, fuck, we're gonna get into a fight right now. I don't like fights, by the way. I think I mentioned that at the start. But either way, I had to do what I had to do. So I put the bike down. I was the one holding it, and I had a backpack on, so I put my backpack off too, and I immediately square up. Well, not square up, I should say. I get into my boxing stance because before then I wasn't really doing MMA. I mainly knew boxing as like my actual defensive abilities, I guess. So yeah, I get into a boxing stance. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to whip this guy's ass and probably get my ass whooped too. And none of us are gonna like it, right? And my girlfriend's gonna have to sit here and watch me beat this guy and get my ass beat. Because I'm not a peak fighter. I'm not the epitome of peak male physiology, I'm pretty average, I think. Sure, maybe I'm a little bit on the bigger side, maybe a little taller than most, but generally I'm a pretty average guy, guys. I'm nothing to cry home about. So yeah, I'm over here thinking, fuck, average Joe versus average Joe, who's probably an alcoholic too. He's probably drunk or something, being all belligerent and shit. And just as we're both stanced up, right? And just when I'm about to start throwing a jab, the building manager walks out. He's this nice looking guy. He's like probably around my height, so like 6 foot, you know, slim, athletic frame. He walks out like a fucking boss though. And he's like, hey, no fighting. What's going on here? I look at him and I'm like, you building management? And he says, yeah. And I go, yeah, I'm trying to deliver this Uber Eats meal, but this guy came over here starting to be belligerent. Sure, we snuck through a gate to get past, but we were just going to deliver this food and get out. I can show you the address and everything. And tell me why this fucking guy, this building manager, looks at this guy that was being belligerent to us, right? He was like, you gotta go, man. Like, you keep causing a problem. You gotta go back to your house, go take a nap. I was like, this is a fucking regular occurrence. I didn't say that out loud, but in my head I was like, this is a fucking regular occurrence. No way. This dude is known in the neighborhood for being a Darren. So yeah, he's like, oh, these guys were they were sneaking through the fucking gates. And he was like, I understand that, but they're trying to do their job. I'm allowing it. So how about you get back home and take it easy? He's like, fine, but this is some fucking bullshit, just so everybody knows. He was like, okay, Darren. He didn't say Darren, but still. This guy ends up walking back, I should say more waddling back to his house. And the building manager looks at us and he says, I'm so sorry about that, guys. Clearly, honestly, you didn't look like you wanted to fight that guy. And I was like, yeah, I really didn't. But, my girlfriend's right behind me. And if it was any other kind of situation, like without my girlfriend around, I probably would have acted different. But I had to be more on the defense. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, no, I totally get that. Hey, so is there any way you could call the person that this food is for and potentially have her come over here? And so that way you can just hand the food off over here. It's like, I think that would be more comfortable for everybody in this situation. And he didn't even have to finish his sentence because the lady that I was actually delivering to, or sorry, we were delivering to, actually walked up. She was like, oh my God, sweetie, are you okay? Are you two okay? And I was like, yeah, we're fine. She was like, what happened? And I was like, that guy, he was just being a dick, just being an asshole, trying to cock block our delivery. Because come on, man, that was like a $10 $12 order. Like, come on, we could have gotten good money out of that. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry about that. Here, I'll tip you a little more, but I'm so sorry about that. And I was like, no, it's all good. Life happens, I guess. And yeah, after that, it was all good. Everybody said their goodbyes, and we zipped the fuck out of there. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different than what I'm known for, but we're gonna try to start shifting into that direction. And yeah, guys, I don't really know what else to say. I hope you like the new outro format. I think it looks decent. But yeah, that was honestly a crazy situation. Be on the lookout for Darren's. But yeah, generally I'm gonna be posting videos like this. Anyways, guys, I'm Carlos, and hope you all have an amazing day, because I know I am. Peace.